the message is the same. Our mindsets matter. So is the power of mindset limitless? Probably not. In just the blink of an eye, we can change the game of any facet of our life quite simply by changing our mindset. So today I'm going to talk about how our mindsets matter in virtually every facet of our lives. But I want to begin by telling a story about a group of researchers in Italy. Dr. Fabrizio Benedetti and his colleagues studied a group of patients undergoing thoracic surgery. Now, what you should know about thoracic surgery is that it's a very invasive procedure. Patients are put under anesthesia while the surgeons make major incisions into the muscles of the sides and the back in order to gain access to their heart and to their lungs. Now, about an hour after the anesthesia fades away, the pain starts to set in. Fortunately, patients are given strong doses of morphine sulfate, a powerful painkiller. This is routine treatment for thoracic surgery, but Dr. Benedetti and his colleagues made a few subtle tweaks. Half of the patients were given the dose of morphine by a doctor at their bedside. The other half was given the exact same dose of morphine, but it was administered into their IV by a pre-programmed pump. Now, you would think that both of these groups of patients would experience the same relief, but this was not the case. The group that received the morphine by the doctor reported significant reductions in their pain levels. The other group, the group who received the same exact amount of morphine but wasn't aware of it, they didn't seem to experience the same benefit. So Dr. Benedetti and his colleagues didn't stop there. They used the same procedure to test the effectiveness of other treatments, treatments for anxiety, treatments for Parkinson's disease, treatments for hypertension. And what they found was remarkable and consistent. When the patients were aware of the treatment and expected to receive the benefit, the treatment was highly effective. But when they weren't, that same drug, that same pill, and that same procedure was blunted, and in some cases, not even effective at all. So I read about these studies when I was a student at Harvard University, and at the time I was heavily immersed into the literature on the placebo effect. And the more I read, the more I started thinking about the true nature of placebos. So what is the placebo effect really? Well, most people discount the placebo effect as just some magical response to some fake pill or some faux procedure. But that's not what the placebo effect is. The placebo effect is not about the faux pill or the sugar pill or the fake procedure. What the placebo effect really is a powerful, robust, and consistent demonstration of the ability of our mindsets, in this case, the expectation to heal, to recruit healing properties in the body. So what is a mindset? A mindset is quite literally a setting of the mind. It's a lens or a frame of mind through which we view the world. We simplify the infinite number of potential interpretations at any given moment. Now, the ability to simplify our world through our mindsets is a natural part of being human. But what I want to suggest to you today is that these mindsets are not inconsequential, and instead they play a dramatic role in determining our health and our well-being. So while I was at Harvard, I had the opportunity to work with Professor Ellen Langer. She's a professor of psychology, and when she heard that I was also a Division I athlete, laughed at me. She said, "You know, exercise is just a placebo, right?" Now, I was kind of offended because at the time I had been spending up to 4 hours a day training my body to be in optimal shape. But she did get me thinking about mindsets and how they might matter outside of medical walls. Was I getting fitter and stronger because of the time and the energy that I was putting into my training? Or was I getting fitter and stronger because I believed that I would?
Dr. Crum discussed the power of mindset in medicine, referencing the study with morphine pain relief. This taps into the fascinating phenomenon of the placebo effect, where belief plays a surprising role in treatment outcomes. Here's how the psychology of mindset can influence the effectiveness of medicine. The morphine study demonstrates how simply believing in a treatment's effectiveness can lead to a stronger response. This aligns with the expectation effect, where our beliefs influence how our bodies react. A positive mindset about a medication can trigger the release of beneficial hormones, enhancing its therapeutic effect. Mind and body are intricately linked. A growth mindset that views medicine as a helpful tool can promote a sense of control and optimism. This positive emotional state can indirectly influence the body's healing processes, potentially improving treatment outcomes. A fixed mindset about a medical condition can lead to anxiety and fear, potentially hindering treatment effectiveness. A growth mindset fosters a sense of trust in medical professionals and the treatment plan. This reduced anxiety can create a more favorable environment for healing. Our beliefs can influence how we perceive pain. A fixed mindset might amplify discomfort associated with treatment, leading to negative associations. A growth mindset allows you to view discomfort as a temporary side effect, encouraging you to persevere with the treatment plan. A fixed mindset can make you feel passive in your own healthcare journey. A growth mindset encourages you to be an active participant. This might involve researching your condition, asking questions, and following treatment recommendations diligently. This active engagement can contribute to a more positive treatment outcome. Dr. Crum emphasizes that mindset doesn't negate the effectiveness of medicine. It highlights how our beliefs can modulate the body's response to treatment. The positive mindset can't cure a disease on its own, but it can act as a powerful complement to traditional medical interventions. While you can't control your medical condition, you can control your mindset. Stay informed about your condition, focus on progress, and build a positive support system. Practice relaxation techniques to manage anxiety. By cultivating a growth mindset, you can empower yourself to actively participate in your healthcare journey and potentially enhance treatment outcomes. Remember, Dr. Crum offers a glimpse into the fascinating power of mindset in medicine. By understanding how our beliefs can influence our body's response, we can become more active participants in our own healthcare journeys.
What about the other extreme? What if people were getting an extraordinary amount of exercise but weren't aware of it? Would they not receive the same benefit? We decided to test this, and to test this, we found a really unique group of women, a group of 84 hotel housekeepers working in 7 different hotels across the US. So these women are on their feet all day long. They're using a variety of muscles, and they're burning an extraordinary amount of calories just doing their job. But what's interesting is that these women don't seem to view their work in this light. We asked them, we said, "Do you exercise regularly?" And 2/3 said no. So we said, okay, well, so on a scale of 0 to 10, how much exercise do you get? And 1/3 of them said 0. I get no exercise at all. So we wondered, what would happen if we could change their mindset? So we took these women, we split them into 2 groups. We measured them on a variety of things, including their weight, their blood pressure, their body fat, their satisfaction with their job. And then we took half of them and we gave them a simple 15-minute presentation. We gave them this poster and we said, you know, your work is good exercise. It satisfies the Surgeon General's requirements, which are quite simply to accumulate about 30 minutes of moderate physical activity. You should expect to receive those benefits. 15 minutes. We came back 4 weeks later and we measured them again. Not surprisingly, the group that didn't receive this information didn't change. But those that did looked different. They dropped weight. They had a significant reduction in systolic blood pressure. They dropped body fat, and they reported liking their job more. So what does this tell us? Well, to me, it was fascinating that just as a result of a simple 15-minute presentation, the whole game changed, producing a cascade of effects on both their health and their well-being, presumably without even changing behavior. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, how do you know they didn't change their behavior, right? Because that must have been what produced the effects. Well, we know they didn't work anymore, and the room attendants themselves assured us that they didn't join the sports club down the street. But of course, we can't know for sure if they weren't, putting a little more oomph into their making the beds. So this question really plagued me. Is there a direct, immediate connection between our mindsets and our bodies?
Dr. Crum highlights a fascinating study on how mindset can significantly impact the perceived benefits of exercise. Here's a deeper dive into the psychology of mindset and how it fuels your fitness journey. The hotel housekeeper study showcased how simply believing their daily activities were exercise led to health improvements. This aligns with the concept of the expectation effect, where our beliefs influence our body's response. A growth mindset that views exercise as beneficial can prime the body to reap greater rewards from workouts. A fixed mindset about your fitness level can lead to discouragement and a sense of why bother. Conversely, a growth mindset fosters the belief that you can improve and get stronger over time. This fuels motivation, making you more likely to stick with an exercise routine and celebrate small victories. Setbacks are inevitable on the fitness journey. A fixed mindset views them as failures, leading to feelings of defeat. A growth mindset incorporates the powerful concept of yet. Instead of thinking, I can't run a mile, you reframe it as I can't run a mile yet. This optimistic outlook encourages you to keep trying and embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. Our beliefs can influence how we perceive pain. A fixed mindset might amplify discomfort during exercise, leading to early quitting. A growth mindset, however, allows you to view pain as a temporary signal of progress. You learn to manage discomfort and persevere through challenging workouts. Aiming for immediate perfection is a recipe for disappointment. A growth mindset encourages you to focus on progress, no matter how small. Celebrate milestones like running an extra minute or completing one more rep. This positive reinforcement keeps you motivated and engaged in your fitness routine. Dr. Crum highlights the negative effects of stress on health. Similarly, negative self-talk during exercise can be demotivating. A growth mindset encourages positive self-talk. Phrases like, I'm getting stronger, or I can do this, boost confidence and enhance your enjoyment of exercise. Just like building physical strength, developing a growth mindset takes consistent effort. Surround yourself with positive influences who support your fitness goals. Track your progress and celebrate achievements, no matter how small. Challenge negative thoughts and reframe setbacks as learning opportunities. Remember, Dr. Crum emphasizes that mindset doesn't negate the importance of exercise itself. However, it highlights the significant role our beliefs play in maximizing the benefits we reap from our workouts. By cultivating a growth mindset, you can unlock your full potential, making your fitness journey more rewarding and sustainable.
Is there a direct, immediate connection between our mindsets and our bodies? So to test this, I worked with my colleagues at Yale, Kelly Brownell, Will Corbin, and Peter Salovey, and we did so by making a big batch of milkshakes. So we made this big batch of milkshakes, and then we invited people to come to our lab to try the milkshakes, and in exchange, we would give them $75. Sounds great, right? Well, the less appealing aspect of the agreement was that while they were drinking the shakes, we had them hooked up to an IV so we could get their blood samples. We were out to measure ghrelin. Ghrelin is a peptide secreted in the gut. The medical experts call this the hunger hormone. So when we haven't eaten in a while, our ghrelin levels start to rise, signaling to the brain it's time to seek out food, and slowing our metabolism to, just in case we don't find that food. Now, say we go out, we find and we devour a milkshake, a hamburger, some French fries, our ghrelin levels drop, signaling to our brain, time to stop eating, and revving up the metabolism so we can burn the food that was just consumed. So the participants came in, we hooked them up to an IV, and then we gave them a milkshake, Sensa-shake. This is 0% fat, 140 calories, 0 added sugar. This is guilt-free satisfaction. So they drank this shake, and in response, their ghrelin levels dropped, but only very slightly, signaling to the brain that some food had been consumed, but not a whole lot. So a week later, they came back to our lab, we hooked them up to an IV again, and we gave them this shake. 620 calories, 30 grams of fat, 56 grams of sugar. Now this is decadence you deserve. And in response to this shake, their ghrelin levels dropped again, but this time at a significantly steeper rate, about 3 times more than the shake they had before. Now, this would make good sense to any metabolic nutritionist who understands that the drop in ghrelin is proportional to the amount of calories consumed. But there was a catch. In this study, even though the participants thought they had consumed the sensible shake and the indulgent shake, in reality, we gave them the exact same shake at both time points. So what does this tell us? Well, just as in the case when the same amount of morphine produced more or less of an effect depending on our awareness, and just as in the case when the same amount of exercise produced more or less of a benefit depending on how it was construed, here again, our mindsets proved to matter. In this case, suggesting it might not be just calories in and calories out, or the precise makeup of fats, nutrients, but what we believe, what we expect, what we think about the foods we eat that determines our body's response.
Diet and weight management are often framed as battles against our bodies. But what if the key ingredient to success lies not on your plate, but in your mind? Here's how the psychology of mindset plays a crucial role in your relationship with food. Our beliefs about food can influence how our bodies process it. Studies like the milkshake experiment mentioned earlier demonstrate that simply believing a drink is a low-calorie shake can lead to a greater decrease in the hunger hormone, ghrelin. This highlights the power of expectation in shaping our physiological response to food. A fixed mindset about your ability to eat healthy can lead to discouragement and a sense of powerlessness. Conversely, a growth mindset, believing you can learn and improve your eating habits over time, fosters resilience and a willingness to experiment. This mindset shift empowers you to make sustainable changes. Viewing healthy eating as an all-or-nothing proposition sets you up for failure. A more helpful mindset focuses on progress, not perfection. Celebrate small wins like incorporating more vegetables into your meals, and learn from occasional setbacks. This fosters self-compassion and keeps you motivated on your journey. Cravings are often linked to emotional states, not just hunger. A mindful approach allows you to recognize emotional triggers for cravings and choose healthier coping mechanisms. For instance, feeling stressed might lead to a craving for sugary snacks. A growth mindset helps you identify this pattern and choose stress reduction techniques like exercise instead. Reframing negative thoughts about food can be transformative. Instead of labeling certain foods as bad, view them as occasional treats. Focus on the abundance of healthy and delicious options available. This positive reframing fosters a more enjoyable relationship with food, making healthy choices more sustainable. Believe in your ability to make healthy choices. Research by Carol Dweck shows that a growth mindset about your ability to learn and change your eating habits can lead to greater success in weight management programs. This belief fuels your motivation and perseverance. Just like any other skill, cultivating a healthy mindset takes practice. Mindfulness techniques like meditation can help you become more aware of your thoughts and feelings about food. Additionally, surrounding yourself with positive influences who support your goals can further strengthen your mindset. By understanding the psychology of mindset in relation to diet, you gain a powerful tool to transform your relationship with food. Remember, a healthy mindset is not about rigid restrictions, but about fostering a mindful, positive, and growth-oriented approach to your dietary journey.
So in light of this, it behooves us to consider our own lives. What are our mindsets? And how might we begin to shift them, to alter them, to have them be more beneficial? So take stress, for example. What's your mindset about stress? If you're like most people, you have the mindset that stress is bad. Bad stress. Now, this is not surprising considering that everywhere we look, there's warnings, labels, yelling at us, reminding us about the negative effects of stress. But the truth of stress is not so clear-cut, and in fact, there's a robust and growing body of research showing that stress can have positive effects, enhancing effects on our health, our well-being, and our performance. Now, I'm not here to try to persuade you that the effects of stress are enhancing, but rather to point out that the truth of stress is like most things in life, and that is, it's uncertain. And therefore, to raise the question, do our mindsets about stress determine our response? So to test this question, I worked with Sean Aker and Peter Salovey, and we worked with a group of 300 employees. This was after the 2008 financial collapse, and we decided they were stressed. They had just heard that 10% of their workforce was going to be laid off, and they were overworked. So we decided to see if we could change their mindset, and we did so by having them watch simple video clips. So I'm going to show them to you here simultaneously, but half of the participants saw the one on the left, half saw the one on the right. So you get the point, yes? So here we are, in the dark. So here we are, they're watching facts, research, anecdotes, all true, but oriented towards one view or the other. And what we found was interesting. Those who watched these simple 3-minute video clips before the bell rang, before their job began, over the course of the next few weeks, reported fewer negative health symptoms, fewer backaches, less muscle tension, less insomnia. And they also reported a higher level of engagement and performance at work.
Stress. It's a constant companion in our fast-paced world, but what if its impact wasn't predetermined? Psychology reveals a surprising truth. The power of mindset can significantly influence how stress affects us. Here's how cultivating a growth mindset equips you to be the master of your stress response. Our mindset acts like a mirror, reflecting onto our body. A fixed mindset perceives stress as a threat, triggering the fight or flight response. This releases a cascade of stress hormones like cortisol, leading to anxiety, muscle tension, and a feeling of being overwhelmed. Conversely, a growth mindset views stress as a challenge, an opportunity for growth. This belief promotes a calmer response, allowing us to focus on solutions and problem-solving strategies. The way we talk to ourselves about stress significantly shapes our experience. Negative self-talk like "I can't handle this" fuels the stress response and reinforces feelings of helplessness. However, a growth mindset empowers us to reframe the narrative. Phrases like "This is difficult, but I'll find a way" promote a sense of control and inner strength. A growth mindset encourages us to see stress as a signal to step up. It's the body's natural response to prepare for action. By acknowledging this and channeling our energy into problem solving, rather than dwelling on negativity, we can harness the positive aspects of stress. Increased alertness and focus become tools to navigate challenging situations more effectively. Life is full of setbacks, and a fixed mindset views them as failures, reinforcing a sense of helplessness. A growth mindset, however, allows us to see setbacks as learning opportunities. This fosters resilience, the ability to bounce back from challenges and persevere during tough times. Mindfulness practices like meditation can help us become more aware of our thoughts and feelings related to stress. By observing our stress response without judgment, we gain the power to manage it more effectively. A growth mindset encourages us to embrace mindfulness as a tool to de-escalate negative emotions and choose more helpful coping mechanisms. Research suggests that believing stress can be beneficial can actually lead to better health outcomes. This highlights the power of positive self-belief. When we cultivate a growth mindset and believe in our ability to cope with stress, it can trigger the release of hormones like endorphins, promoting feelings of well-being, and potentially reducing stress negative effects. Like any skill, developing a growth mindset takes time and effort. Challenge negative thoughts, identify your stress triggers, and practice reframing situations. With consistent effort, you can strengthen your mental armor and face stress with greater resilience and a sense of control. By understanding the power of mindset in relation to stress, we gain the agency to choose our response. A growth mindset empowers us to not only weather stressful situations, but potentially even thrive in their presence. Remember, stress might be inevitable, but its impact doesn't have to be.
So at this point, I've presented four studies that demonstrate the power of mindset in medicine, in exercise, in diet, and in stress. There are many other very talented scholars tackling this phenomena as we speak. Carol Dweck's research demonstrates us that if we can shift our mindset about intelligence and talent as something that's fixed to something that's changeable over time, it can dramatically alter our academic and professional success. Yale epidemiologist Becca Levy's research shows us that if we can change our mindsets about aging, from viewing aging as an inevitable process of deterioration to a process of gaining wisdom, gaining growth, not only shapes the course of how we grow old, but even extends longevity. Ted Kapchuk and his group at Harvard's Program for Placebo Studies is doing cutting-edge work understanding how we can begin to harness and ethically utilize the placebo effect in clinical practice. So though the context is different, the message is the same. Our mindsets matter. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that medicine doesn't work, or that there are no benefits of exercise, or that what we eat doesn't matter. It does. But the psychological and physiological effect of anything in our lives can and is influenced by our mindset. So is the power of mindset limitless? Probably not. But what I hope I've done for you today is inspired you to reconsider where those limits really are. Because the true task ahead is to begin reclaiming this power for ourselves, to acknowledge the power of mindset, and know that just like this, in just the blink of an eye, we can change the game of any facet of our life quite simply by changing our mindset. Thank you.
Dr. Crum has presented research on the power of mindsets in various aspects of life, including medicine, exercise, diet, and stress. They emphasize that our beliefs and perspectives, mindsets, significantly influence the outcomes we experience. The core message is that mindsets are not simply positive thinking. She highlights two key points. Shifting from a fixed mindset, believing intelligence and talent are fixed, to a growth mindset, believing these qualities can be developed, improves performance in various areas. While medicine, exercise, and diet have inherent benefits, our mindsets can influence how our bodies respond to these interventions. Dr. Crum references Carol Dweck's work on growth mindsets and Becca Levy's research on aging mindsets, demonstrating the growing field of research on mindsets and their impact. The mention of Ted Kaptchuk's research on the placebo effect highlights the potential to utilize the power of belief in medical treatment. She also clarifies that a positive mindset doesn't negate the importance of medicine, exercise, or healthy eating. It's about how our beliefs influence the results. She acknowledges that the power of mindset might have limitations, but encourages exploration of its potential. Dr. Crum is encouraging us to acknowledge the power of our mindsets and use them to improve various aspects of our lives. It emphasizes the potential for personal growth and positive change through a shift in perspective. That's all for today. Remember, your brain is like a muscle. The more you challenge it, the stronger it gets. Keep feeding your mind with possibilities, embrace every obstacle as a chance to grow, and never stop learning. Keep growing, and see you next time.